Well, hi there.
All right, this is Sofia here, sitting here with Rosalia Triana, also known as Miss Purple.
Oh, dear. See, once you get old, there's too much to tell, so then you don't tell anything. I've done theater and film stuff all my life, but also teaching, and teaching is what I absolutely love. Okay, so, oh no, that's today's class, which I think will be fun, although you can adapt it any way you want. So reaching for the sky is the idea. And the characters are, there's a teen character. I've done a lot of work with past life regressions, and that's been a very amazing and educational and surprising kind of side thing in my life that in a way really defines me too. Yes.
Why do we bother with our past lives?
Funny you should ask. I actually pulled this up just moments ago. Why should we? So the thing that I've discovered over time, and again, I got into it quite accidentally. I had no idea what was happening when this back in 1971 when this started. But since then, I've done literally dozens and dozens of regressions with all kinds of different people, most of them strangers, a few with people I know. But there's always something to discover in a past life that helps you in this life. And it's never something you expect. Um, I have so many stories to tell about that. Um, oh man. In the first past life, the first time I ever did a regression, which was, as I said, totally accidental. I was very sick. I had just had a baby. They had taken her from me because it was back in the days and I was young. Um, and a few months later, I was very sick and I ended up, somebody told me that this hypnotist he knew could help me. And I was like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I went. I don't know. I was so out of it. You know what I mean? I was just nowhere. I was so much in pain and unable to deal with it because you couldn't in those days. You just had to pretend it didn't happen. And so I went with this guy to this group run by this hypnotist. Bear was my friend who had told me about it, and he took me. And many things happened in that session. But one of them was that at one point, I saw myself as a young man in Spain, and I was a courtier working for the court of Prince Philip. But I saw myself traveling somewhere and past a field, and I knew there were people that I knew nearby, and there was a little boy in the field. And I looked at him, and in what I was seeing, this young woman was there with him, and she said he was my son, and I denied it. It was a horrifying moment because inside my head I was screaming, "You son of a bitch, you know that's your kid." And I rode off. And in that moment, I knew why I'd had to go through losing a child in this life.
Because of your,
Because I had done that. I had denied that child.
yeah, your denial towards that child.
Right, right.
Um,
Which, and there were other things connected to that. But anyway, that was the first time I realized, oh, there's a reason we do this, and there's connections, you know. And then there was a double connection with it because I have a bunch of brothers and sisters in this life, but I have one brother who's always had kind of abandonment issues with me. And that boy I recognized in that moment while I was still under, that was my brother Michael in this life.
and he became your baby.
He was my baby in that life, yeah. But yeah, oh, you're right. I said that about him, didn't I? He was my
Yes.
baby in this life. Oh my God! Now see, you just gave me that. When the next sister after him was born, he was only a little kid. He was like 4, and I was 12. And I remember holding him on my lap and saying, "You'll always be my baby."
Aww.
Oh my God! Okay, now you're gonna make me cry during my own little thing here. Well, anyway, that's how past life works. Things unfold. You know, um, things that you don't understand in this life suddenly make sense. And it helps you to just say, okay, okay, now I know why that happened, and I can handle it, and you can move on. So there's a lot of good work that can get done